Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the weekly recess here on Jersey Nerds Productions. We have a full house of people ready to contribute to this awesome, awful, terrible, disgusting week of week 5 recap, week 6 preview. Guys, we're all losers. Actually, no, Tommy, you won, but who cares? You beat the Patriots. That might as well be an L. I know we threw a parade when the Jets beat the Patriots, but the Dolphins, I mean, yeah, that was bad.
We went on a technicality because that whole touchdown overturn.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but
I know a lot of Patriots fans that are actively rooting for losses that are like, man, we should have won that game. So there
I'll take the win, but
there were conflicting emotions.
Yeah, we did not win that game.
I think it's a season-saving win for the Dolphins because best timed bye week. You got a bye, and then Tua might come back next week, but is definitely going to come back the week after. And then it seems like you might have a little bit of something to play for because the rest of the AFC East can't quite get their shit together. The Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen went 9 of 30 against the Houston Texans, and yet somehow I actually don't think he was that bad. I think his receivers really let him down in a lot of spots, and I mean the Texans.
I think the Ravens got in the head of Josh Allen and the Bills, and they just have not recovered.
Maybe
the ball that was thrown to Keon Coleman and Coleman just got hit in the back of the head was very funny.
It was extremely funny, and a lot of the beginning of that game was very funny until it was like, oh, are the Bills mounting a comeback? Like, is this happening? And they didn't have enough, but the Texans tried to give it to them at the end. They're 4-1 now, and the other AFC East team, the one that's been generating all the headlines this week, the first in-season coach fired, and I don't think either one of us expected Robert Saleh to be gone this early. However, if you were in my living room Sunday morning around 10 a.m. listening to me scream, I'm going to kill myself about 6 or 7 times, and volunteering to serve as Robert Saleh's mover.
That's I remember.
Yes. No, I was volunteering to pack Robert Saleh's things and help him.
Pack? You could have left him in London.
I was no, that's true. I remember I said something along the lines of whatever restaurant he walks into for tea and crumpets, charge him triple. And Nathaniel Hackett charge him quadruple. That's what I was. Yeah, I did not have a very pleasant Sunday morning. The Jets fire their coach. I couldn't be more thrilled about it personally. I would have loved to, and I still think we get a change in play calling. I think that is going to go to Todd Downing.
I think
sooner rather than later.
Can we talk about that? How he was going to fire Hackett, and then from the top road, ownership was like, "No, you're the one who's out. You're the scapegoat."
Sorry, about this with the part of it too, because the fact that for those you don't know, so Woody Johnson, the owner for the Jets, he's the of the Johnson Johnson Corporation. So he was the ambassador to the United Kingdom.
Yes.
And so I heard some scuttlebutt of like, oh, no, it's a possibility that Woody Johnson's friends were all there at the game. And then he looked embarrassed by the game. He's like, get this guy out of here.
Yeah,
I believe that 100%.
Yeah, I 100% believe that.
There have been a lot of rumors going on. Like, for example, I think you said it, Brandon, about Saleh was going to make a change at offensive coordinator.
Yep.
That was debunked. That was that was not true.
Well,
at least from the Jet sources that like official sources that I follow and trust the most. Gotcha. That's not true. He wasn't escorted out by security. That wasn't true either. He didn't talk to the team after he got fired. That was true, but he didn't. He wasn't like kicking and screaming and escorted out by security and that sort of thing. I personally love the fact that they fired him because I think that Jeff Ulbrich is the exact type of person that's going to instill accountability into this team, because you can change the X's and O's on offense, but I think that the biggest thing that the Jets need to change is how they come out to start games. Because if you just start with a pulse against Denver or Minnesota, and this team has a winning record, if you come out with a pulse against both of those teams, they're 4-1. The changes that need to be made aren't necessarily drastic, but they're as far as accountability goes. And Saleh was a little too buddy-buddy with everyone. And Ulbrich, I think he's more of a rough and tumble guy, and he's going to let the players know when they're not doing what they're supposed to do. And the pre-snap penalties and the just the sloppy play to start games is something that I think that Saleh, throughout his tenure, has not really gotten a handle on. And I think that this is a good step to solving that problem, personally.
I think it all. Yeah, exactly. Same. I would like to see the Jets actually being like some sense of urgency at the start of games and stuff. But I will say, like, a lot of this is like blame on the head coach, and the buck does stop with the head coach because the head coach is the guy. But a lot of that has to do with like what's happening in positional meetings and stuff like that. Like, what is going on that like all of these slow starts are like happening. I mean, Ulbrich might provide like an Antonio Pierce type of like, jump start, but I mean that shtick might get old quickly. Like, we'll have to see. Like, this is a veteran team. This isn't like this is some like young up and coming team. Like, for the most part, like I think there's veterans on that squad that people should be held accountable. Like, you're in the spot you're in because you haven't been winning games. So I don't know. We'll see. Ulbrich, I think, is the right decision. But whether that's like the long-term solution,
that sure as hell wasn't the thing.
That's the.
I'm laying the blame on Rodgers because I think he is the.
I knew you were going to say that too.
I love it. Let's go.
No, again, I am a Jets fan, and I think that he is a cancer to this team.
Yeah,
because
I would not go that far at all.
The reason why I'm saying that is because the fact that he thinks this offense should run a certain way. And this team is not designed to run the way he thinks an offense should run. He is not running the offense to our personnel. He's running it to how he wants to run it. And I think he's too egotistical.
He's not the offensive coordinator, Connor.
But the thing is, he's the one who wants making the call.
Okay. But to like circle all the way back to what I originally said, like, okay, so the Hackett stuff got debunked. Like, he wasn't going to fire Hackett. But that almost makes you question. So we weren't making a change at offensive coordinator. Like, we're not making a change there. Like that has to happen. To Connor's point, like what's going on is it's either a disconnect in personnel or a disconnect in like the like execution of plays. Because to Connor's point, this team isn't built to exactly run the way Aaron Rodgers has run his offenses in the past with Green Bay. So I don't know where that comes down to, but the fact that you're not turning around and handing the ball off to Breece Hall, and you're definitely not handing the ball off to Braylon Allen as much as they should be, that screams alarm bells in my head. Like, I guess he got Garrett Wilson the ball last week, but like that's about it. That was like the only positive note from the Jets offense last week is Garrett Wilson started to touch the football a little bit. I mean, I don't know.
The reason why I specifically bring up Rodgers, and I was reading this on The Athletic earlier today. I can't remember who wrote it exactly.
Probably Zach Rosenblatt if it was.
It was not him. It was one of the guys who's more of a holistic reporter. National. Ted Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn.
Ted Gwynn.
Oh. He's dead.
So. The key thing here is that how Rodgers wants to run this offense is trying to read, picking up blitzes, and then adapting to it, very much like Peyton Manning did. And he has said before interviews where elite quarterbacks are the ones who can read those defenses. Problem is he's not doing that. Where he doesn't want to have pre-snap motion. He doesn't want to run play action. The Jets are 24th in the league in play action and 31st in the league in pre-snap motion so far this season. That's unacceptable if you want to be a high-powered offense. If you want to actually score, you need deception. You need to outsmart your opponents, and he's not willing to do that as a quarterback. And that's my issue with him this whole time is I think he's just so inflated with his ego that he's actually holding the team back to using our skilled players the way they're supposed to be using. No, if you want to get Garrett Wilson into the flat open, throw some pre-snap motion in there. Throw some deception in there to actually create a situation that's advantageous for our offense. Instead of just going, oh, I can do this myself. I'm the best. And he's 40 years old. Like, he ain't.
I will tell you why I'm not. I'll tell you why I'm not particularly worried about it long term as far as this season goes. Because one, the AFC is a giant mess. I mean, are you trying to convince me that the Colts are making the playoffs?
Well, the Bengals are out, right? The Bengals are 1-4.
Yeah, the Bengals are 1-4. At this point, are you going to try to convince me that Bo Nix is going to the playoffs? Like, I know the Broncos' defense is good, but at some point you have to score. The Chargers are always hurt. Are you trying to tell me Antonio Pierce is going to the playoffs or Deshaun Watson? How about Will Levis or Trevor Lawrence?
Honestly,
like, the AFC is a giant mess, and so I believe that the Jets are still
they all have
plenty good enough.
Yeah. I 100% agree with the Jets are good enough. I will agree with Connor in the sense of like 31st in pre-snap motion and 24th in play action is not how you should be running this offense. Like, it's just not. It's just not. Like, the fact that you have those two running backs in the backfield and you're not using them to, like, create some type of deception just seems weird. And teams are just lining up in two high safety looks. Like, they're just giving them two high safety looks the entire time because they're trying to take away the deep ball for Garrett Wilson and they're trying to take away the middle of the field. I mean,
last
that's
point on the Jets here.
It's just what we're
doing. Before we move on, Aaron Rodgers is not he's not immune to starting off slow in the season. Sure. 2016 they started off pretty badly. I think they were 4-6. They went to the NFC Championship game. 2014, the year of the RELAX. Yeah, they said that he won MVP, and they went to the NFC Championship game. And if Brandon Bostic didn't have butter sticks for hands, they would have been in the Super Bowl. Like, and also he's a quarterback in a new environment, still getting used to his offensive line, his receivers, all of that. Brady got that grace period. Peyton Manning started 2-3 when he was the Broncos quarterback his first season. He won. He came second in MVP. That was the Adrian Peterson year. But they were the 1 seed in the AFC, so.
But he doesn't look right. He doesn't look right. He's 40 years old. He's coming off an Achilles injury, and he doesn't exactly look like Aaron Rodgers. Now, I'll give him some grace because he's Aaron Rodgers, but you're here to tell me that he looks like Aaron Rodgers because he doesn't.
He did for 1 game, and fair. We'll see what happens. Buffalo's a big one. Buffalo's a big one.
I got it flipped. So it's 24th in pre-snap motion, 31st in play action.
Either way, that's not how you run an offense.
And the other thing, too, is when it comes to expected points added, EPA, which is a good metric to measure football players when it comes very much like kind of like WAR is in a way when it comes to baseball. Rodgers is 29th per drop pack, 29th in the league per drop pack when blitzed, and then ranks 24th in EPA play overall. Like,
no, he's not been good. He's not been good out there.
You're not even being an average quarterback, and we need average. You're not even giving us that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more worse quarterback play than Aaron Rodgers, but
correct.
He's not been good.
Give me Joe Flacco, baby.
It is what it is.
I'm gonna go around the room. Each of you tell me something that stood out to you in Week 5. I'll start to kind of get the ball rolling. I'll mention the obvious. I think Joe Burrow might be playing quarterback better than anyone in the NFL, and his team sucks. He's 1-4, and he's played so well ever since that disastrous start to the season against the Patriots. Him and Jamar Chase have just been. Remember, there's the whole Jamar Chase might not play well this season because he wants his money. That sure didn't age well. Since
my thoughts on Jamar Chase, so.
Oh, you love him, and you're going to give him to me in fantasy one of these years. 72% completion, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and the team is 1-4 because in each of the losses, they've given up 41, 38, and 26 to Baltimore, Washington, and Kansas City, which are three of the best teams in the NFL right now. So as much as I'd like to say bury the Bengals, maybe don't, but also we might be looking at Lamar winning his third MVP if he keeps playing the way that he's playing right now.
Yes.
Because he is playing some phenomenal football. Like if I had to vote,
he's the favorite.
If I had to vote right now for MVP, my vote would either go to Lamar Jackson or CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
I think that Jaden Daniels is pretty close too, but they have a big game this week. We'll see what happens. But Baltimore has, firmly planted like, hey, any concerns about us after that Raiders game, stop being concerned.
That
was a really fun game to watch.
They were also one fumbled hold away from, or one missed.
Yeah, that was.
Hold
it's very rarely that you see it. It was the hold. The snap was fine.
Yeah,
he just completely botched the hold, and so the kick looked off from the get-go to the point where you're like, something in the exchange was wrong.
Yep.
And the replay showed there was something wrong in the exchange. The snap was terrible. So I don't want to say I still think the Bengals are going to be one of the 3 wild card teams, because right now I think it's Bengals, Jets, and then someone else. I think the Dolphins might have saved their season to the point where maybe they could get in there. I don't believe in the Steelers' offense enough, but like the AFC wild card is just a giant mess, and I don't think that counting out the 1-4 Bengals is a smart thing to do right now.
I'm more leaning towards where Tommy's at, where I probably wouldn't bury them, but I'm definitely saying there's a very outside chance that they, because I just don't think they stop anybody.
There's only one major factor. There's
Yeah.
only one major factor that will make your statement accurate, Mitchell, and that is if Tua comes back healthy and can stay healthy and actually plays well.
Yeah, that's a fair
the beginning of the season, even when he was playing well, he wasn't playing that great. So I don't know. So if he actually comes back,
you guys want to hear the next 4 games for Cincinnati?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Well, yeah, I mean, but we can play that exercise with Miami too. Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Giants, Browns, Eagles, Raiders.
No, I mean, they should win 3 of those 4 games, but they can't stop anyone, so they might only win 1 of them. Like, that's the problem, is they haven't been able to stop anyone all year. And I don't think that's going to change. Like, Joe Burrow is going to put up his Joe Burrow numbers. He's going to do Joe Burrow things. I think he's actually healthy now, too. Like, that's a big factor.
He looks healthy.
I think he's actually healthy. But, like, I just don't think they're going to stop anyone. They haven't proven to me that they can stop someone, especially, like, when it counts. Like, we need you to stop someone on defense. They haven't really done it this year. So I just don't think that's going to happen.
I think they have a situation where they can right the ship, though, and
with
how weak the AFC is. That 3rd wild card spot is up for grabs. So
if they win 3 of the next 4,
up for grabs.
If they win 3 of the next 4, that puts them at 4-5, and then all of a sudden, like you're in the race. Like 4-5, like you're definitely in the competition.
9 wins, I think, gets you in the playoffs this year.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked by that.
And Tua was supposed to be expected, from what I heard, expect to be back week 8. Yes. That is against the Bills at Buffalo.
And honestly,
that's important.
They're gonna need him for that game, but I don't want them to put him in for that game because
I understand
he'll
that
just get hurt again.
Yeah, fair.
The Bills defense is too aggressive.
The Bills defense is nothing. Honestly
against a crappy Tua. Yes, they are.
But the thing
is, they made Tua look like shit in week 2.
Are we giving our one thing that we're taking away from the week?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I was going to go to Connor, but Brandon, take it.
Yeah, okay. So the 49ers and Cardinals.
That was one of the 2 I was thinking of talking about.
Yeah, the 49ers looked weird. Like they're still running the football in Mason.
Okay, JD Vance.
Yeah, my fault, right? Yeah. No, they're running the ball with Mason. They're getting like Kittle the ball now, and they
finally got Ayuk involved.
Right, Ayuk finally got touches, and they couldn't win a game. Like, and I don't know what the Arizona's doing either. Like, I don't know how you run Kyler for a QB like design run. He runs for 50 yards, and then you don't run the rest of the game. Like that to me.
I just love that this guy with someone right next to him pointed like, "Yeah, I'm gonna score" at like the 40-yard line.
Because he's a
with
freak
someone
athlete.
right next to
He's
him,
a,
and
he's
it
a
was
freak
incredible to
athlete.
watch.
Yeah, I mean, he's insane. Like,
My
makes no
takeaway
sense.
from this game is, wow, the 49ers really just like, are they the new Falcons as far as just finding ways to choke games away at the end?
Yeah, I think Brock Purdy's
Because
playing some of his best football. Like, I think Brock Purdy's
I
been
thought he
good.
was, and then this game
Yeah,
happened.
sure. This game wasn't that great, but he still looked really good. Like, I don't know.
That whole
wild.
division's still up for grabs. Let's be real.
Yeah, no, the division
Yeah.
definitely is. I
Seattle.
I think
keep
I've been on
coming
the
back to
Cardinals
Seattle.
bandwagon. Yeah, I'm leaning Seattle just because I think Geno's like a consistency and the defense is really good. But I
When they
joked
get-
before we got on that like I've been on the Cardinals bandwagon.
When they get
for
Walker
all year,
involved,
so I
because
don't
they
know.
just completely abandoned the run game against the Giants.
Yeah,
And because Walker, I think Walker was injured, and they're like, all right, let's slowly get you back in. We have a Thursday night game. They play the Niners this week on Thursday.
That's a huge
So
game. Yeah.
let's not, overload him with work, but they can't not run the ball at all.
yeah. I just think it's weird because I like this Cardinals team, but there's something off about him. Like when games like matter, but this game against the 49ers, like when it came down to crunch time, like they got it done. So they kind of showed me a little bit of something. I do think they need to like pick it up offensively, and I just think the game management offensively was weird last week. But they still found a way to win, and I'm with you. That division's definitely up for grabs, Connor. I 100% agree with that. Because Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals, I mean the 49ers don't have that division locked up. So
I'll
yeah,
say
I'm with you.
seeing more designed run from Kyler was good to see. I want to see him moving his feet because
they're
I
like
think they're
two
more deadly
times they
that way.
did it.
Yeah,
that's
and
the
guess
problem.
what?
They
It
did it
went
like
wet.
twice.
It went
and
great.
worked. Yeah, so I don't know. It just, I mean, I get it. You don't want him to get hit, but he's one of those QBs that because he's so small, I think he avoids like hits way more than like other guys do. Like Jaden Daniels takes like big hits and like falls awkwardly and looks
That's
bad.
my biggest concern with him.
And Kyler, like I feel like avoids those hits. So I think you can run him more and not take the beating that other guys do.
And he's smarter about it too. He's in like 2 ways to shop in his head. Like he's actually
and
going
like I said
down
earlier,
in a safe area.
like I said earlier, Kyler's a freak athlete. Like the reason Kyler's on the field at the size he is playing QB is because he's a freak. Like Mitchell said, like him throwing up the deuces to a guy like as he's standing next to him is just like absurd. Like I don't think anyone else in the NFL outside of Lamar probably does that to somebody. Like it's just crazy.
All right, Connor.
All right. This might be a weird one, but I am kind of playing the schedule game on this one for the future. But the Bears.
Okay.
I had to rub it in Brandon's face, huh?
Yeah, that's fine. Well, I like Caleb, so.
Like
he looked great.
This was a game where I was like, okay, like he looked fine last week. They've been still finding ways to win with that great defense, but now like I think Kyler has some really nice matchups coming up where it's like if he can get something like actually get a feel for how to play offense, be a quarterback in the professional level. You have the Jaguars next week, which is susceptible to the passing offense. You have the Commanders, which should be a great shootout, hopefully. You have the Cardinals after that. And then the next tough defense you see is the Patriots after that, but still a very winnable game. So it could be very real where we're coming out. Let's say they win 3 of those games. Like, we're seeing a 6-3 Bears team. Like, I know they have, after that slate, they have a tough sledding against some tough opponents in their division, which is
it's a great division.
It'll be awesome to watch. But I think if this could be a nice stepping stone for Caleb to actually become a good quarterback. So when they start facing those tougher opponents, because their next one after the Patriots is Green Bay, which is going to be a huge game for them. Like, I think we can actually see a great game both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball for the Bears.
They've been running the ball a lot better as of late. Because I remember DeAndre Swift started out really bad, but the last few games, and granted they've been playing the Rams and Panthers, who aren't exactly, the 85 Bears and the 2000 Ravens or anything, but it's just, it gets, okay, we can run the ball, and opponents have to respect the fact that we can do this. And Caleb Williams, look, I thought he looked really bad for the first few weeks of the season.
Yes,
I thought
he
that
did.
it was a lot of, you can't do that here. You just can't. You can't do all that running around stuff. And I think that he has found a comfortable balance of the in-structure plays and the stuff that made Caleb Williams really special in college, where he can do things out of structure and finding out, okay, what's the limit to this that I can do right now?
Right.
Because I'm not going to be, they played the Colts and he had some throws that were like, wow, that's amazing. And then some stuff where it's like, dude, do you know that you're going up against professionals? Because you just can't do that. And
like
against
everyone on this team would be playing on like an SEC team for
exactly,
sure. Like
yeah.
starting on SEC.
Yeah. So it was really nice. I'd like to see Keenan Allen a little bit more involved and then get a little bit of that underneath passing game going to open it up even more for big plays down the field, because him and DJ Moore got it really going against the Panthers, which I'm sorry, Brandon, but that had to be even more of a reminder that trade was
let's keep it in perspective. The Panthers don't have Derek in the middle. And Derek's a space eater.
That's a giant loss.
He probably takes
best player on the team.
Yeah, he takes up 2 blocks for like every single play, and it's kind of absurd how good he is.
Is he officially out for the season?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. Shaq Thompson's out for the year, so like the best tackler on the team isn't there. And then I just think that just created issues. Like they got no pressure. Like if you give Caleb time to process without pressure, he's amazing. And, like, I think the only time he hasn't been really good this year is when he's been pressured. So, I mean, the defenses they're playing, as Connor mentioned earlier, like, the defenses they're playing coming up, like, he might not get a lot of pressure. So, he might be in, like, a good spot.
So,
but, it's all about that. I mean, in my opinion, it's all about, like, how he's processing the game when he finally gets pressure. Because if he learns to get the ball out of his hands quickly, like you were saying earlier, Mitchell, like, then that's when he starts like cooking, because that's when he's at his best. I mean, the extending plays and stuff like that, like that's elite special stuff. But he does all of that, and then you add in like I get the ball in my hands in 2.5 seconds.
It's like Mahomes right now.
Amazing.
If you're gonna compare this guy to Mahomes, the way a lot of people did coming out, Mahomes right now is not doing a whole bunch of the, let me chuck the ball 70 yards down the field to Tyreek Hill, and I'm reading the defense.
Because he realizes his defense is also really, really good, and I think that's what Caleb has in Chicago too. I think that defense is actually good. So
very, very true. The Yankees win. Sorry, I just had to do that.
So one thing too, this is some Pro Football Network on Twitter. So in the first 3 weeks, Caleb Williams was 0.7 EPA per dropback and had a 13.7 passer rating under pressure. The last 2 games, 71% completion percentage, 3 TDs and 0 interceptions, plus 0.27 EPA per dropback, and 101.7 passer rating under pressure. That's a big
this
difference.
NFC North is going to be so fun.
Down
the stretch, because they're not even playing each other yet.
I know. It's so much fun.
Other than the Packers and Vikings, none of them have really played each other. Oh, I can't wait. Tommy, what was your biggest takeaway
all
from
of that pressure, by the way, must have
guys,
been,
I'm here too.
all of that pressure must have been from the week before, because the Panthers got no pressure this week.
No.
Yeah, hey, still, like, it's something.
Yeah, fair. Go ahead, Tommy.
So both my games were already talked about. I did want to mention, I'm surprised to see how well the Vikings are still doing.
Yes.
They're the only undefeated team so far aside from the Chiefs. But the other game was the Buccaneers and Falcons. I thought was a pretty interesting game because the fact that they are still fighting over the NFC South. We still don't know who's going to take the lead on that one.
I think I have a pretty good idea as to who I think it's going to be, at least at the moment. But I like Tampa because I think Kirk Cousins has played more bad football than good football so far this year. It's just that the good football has come in prime time, which
Who would have
When you
thought?
think about Kirk. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you go back the last 3 or 4 really ever since he got Justin Jefferson, the whole prime time Kirk is bad has been not
Right.
true at all. But I mean, 509 yards, 4 touchdowns, Drake London with a big game. The Falcons just
Kyle Pitts caught some balls.
Yeah, they got Kyle Pitts involved. Darnell Mooney had 105 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Darnell Mooney is their wide receiver 1. Like, straight up.
I actually agree. He just seems like the guy that Cousins trusts to get open.
I got him in 4 leagues, baby, and I drafted him.
Hey, I'm with you. I just picked him up in Mitchell's dynasty.
I dropped him because that's the team that I have.
Well, he added him and then dropped him in like the same.
I'm 5-0 in that league. I needed to drop Will Levis. Baker Mayfield's been playing some of the best football in the NFL so far this year, and I can't pick against Tampa at the moment. But that was such a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
It felt like defense was just outlawed. And that's usually not the way that Tampa likes to play.
Was that Mel Kiper's dream? There's no 2 high safeties.
Mel Kiper was watching this game just like, just as the gods intended it. Especially watching
Are you not entertained?
A poor angle being taken on a ball in overtime, and Kaderil Hodge of all people gets the walk-off touchdown. Not sure the Falcons really have figured out how to use Bijan Robinson just yet, but I don't have Bijan in any fantasy leagues, so I'm fine with that.
Can they call up Texas and be like, "Yo, what did you guys do? I don't know. Turn around and hand the ball.
What the hell
off.
did you do with this guy?"
I don't know. Throw him the ball in the backfield. Like, just let him run over 5 guys. Like, that's Bijan's an elite RB talent, and it blows my mind they haven't figured out how to use him yet. Like, it's just crazy. I would line him up in the slot. I'd put Algier behind Cousins and line him up in the slot and let him run routes. I think the Lions should do that with Gibbs, and I haven't seen it with that much either. I think they should be doing 2 running back sets.
I'm gonna just real quick 1-word answer. Not well, this is why I think this. Just real quick. Division winners in the NFC, because everything is so close. I'll start right now in the NFC East. Cowboys.
Oh, man.
NFC North, Lions. NFC South, Buccaneers. NFC West, 49ers. Connor?
I'll go reverse of you. Starting with the NFC West. Ugh. Honestly, I would say Cardinals. That team's awful, but I just want to see them win.
1-word answer, Connor. We got to keep this thing moving.
All right. Give me the Falcons.
We're recording 2 podcasts.
Give me the Lions.
Connor. We got to keep it moving.
Falcons, Lions, and then Cowboys.
Yeah, I hate it too.
So
I don't trust the commies yet. I don't trust the commies yet, but I hope they fly high.
I don't trust the Eagles at all. So, Brandon?
Yeah, I think the Eagles figure it out. They have the best running back.
One word, damn it.
Eagles, Vikings. Oh my God, Bucks, and give me Seahawks.
Tommy?
Let me show you how this is supposed to be fucking done here.
All right.
You got your Cowboys, your Seahawks, your Vikings, your Falcons. Then you got...
And a side of pastrami, please, with a large
cup.
I feel
the accent. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You got Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, Texans.
Are you deciding who's going to win the NFC divisions or ordering a hit? Like, what's the deal? All right, let's run through week 3 a little bit quickly. 49ers Seahawks, pretty good Thursday night football game. I've got San Francisco winning this one. I think they get back on track.
I like you holding your pick until you make it. Good call.
Make your own damn pick. This is the picks section of things, Brandon.
No. You're right. 49ers. I'm going 49ers. I think the Seahawks cover, though. I don't trust the 49ers to cover against the spread, but since we're taking strictly picks, give me 49ers. I think they're still moving the ball. That Brock Purdy second half was an anomaly. I think he's been playing really well.
I'm going Seahawks.
Seahawks at home, baby.
All right. And the I won't say it's not the land down under, across the pond in London. The
Yeah, not
Jacksonville
Australia, buddy.
Jaguars season officially begins as they take on the Chicago Bears.
Do they
and
play twice in London?
back to back?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's crazy.
Yeah. And
Shot Khan, baby.
bet against the Jaguars in London at your own risk. I'm taking Jacksonville.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah, give me Bears. Game 1 of London is just. I mean, I know it's the Jags, but something feels right about Caleb Williams.
Cardinals and Packers. I went back and forth on this one. I'm gonna go with Green Bay though. I think that Green Bay, just the offense, is gonna be clicking.
Same here.
Yeah, for all you degenerates out there, I'm going Cardinals to win the game, so you can take that, but definitely take the spread.
Cardinals covering the 5.5.
Yeah, 100%. So give me Cards.
I think the Packers. I think their defense is better.
I can't wait to gain a game on everyone.
We'll find out. Hey,
it'll be magical.
dude, take it, man.
Hey, lost the Jaguars, so we'll be even.
Look, going into this week, just for stat purposes, Brandon is still in the lead with 46. Connor and I are tied with 45, and Mitchell is tailing behind at 39.
Jeez.
I'll make it up.
Brandon knows what he's talking about.
In this week's edition of I Hate Myself, the football edition, Colts and Titans in Nashville. I'm actually going to go with the Titans. I don't know why. I don't know what compels me to say that, but I'm picking the Titans.
That's the wrong answer.
Because I think the Titans clamp up defensively. The Colts don't have a defense. I think the Titans clamp up.
I'm going Colts.
Yeah, there's too much good vibes going on in Nashville right now. Vanderbilt beat Alabama. They carried the goalpost all the way through
3 miles.
Broadway. Yeah, 3 miles. Yeah. They dumped it in like a lake or something.
That was wild.
Yeah, a river. Like, nah, screw
We're gonna dump Will Levis in the lake right next to him if he keeps playing the way he's been playing.
It doesn't matter if Anthony Richardson plays or Joe Flacco. Give me the goal.
It does matter.
It doesn't matter.
Huge.
Yeah, that does. And I think it's going to be Richardson, which is why I'm picking the Titans as well. I think that defense confuses him a little bit.
Yikes.
I think Richardson gets benched. Flacco plays. After Richardson gets benched, Indy wins.
Ooh, that's a bold prediction.
You think they bench him? I love it.
Texans, Patriots. The Patriots started this season saying, "Hey, we're gonna let Drake May develop," and then they started sucking. They're like, actually, and they're gonna let this kid get killed. I think this thing gets ugly, and it's a public funeral.
Texans. This game they're starting him, Houston.
Yeah, exactly. Why this? The Texans have a great defensive line. Yeah. Is anyone taking the Patriots in this game?
The Jaguars next week. Why not that game?
So
yeah, exactly.
Let me say this: I love Drake May. I don't think it's going to be a slaughter. I actually think the Patriots might cover. That point spread just seems weird to me. I will say the Texans are going to win the game.
The over/under 38.5.
Yeah, I would honestly take the under of 38.
Yeah, betting Patriots unders has been one of the best things. Like, I bet the Dolphins Patriots under at 36.5. Didn't come close.
Also, you can tell this is desperate times for Gerard Mayer. This almost feels like a lose your job in
I've
5
lost
weeks.
the locker room type of thing. Yeah, and there have been reports of that. So
because look, Jacoby Brissett has the most throw the ball past 10 yards.
What do players expect though? This team sucks.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tampa Bay and New Orleans, and it was announced today that Spencer Rattler will be getting the start for the New Orleans Saints.
My dude.
And I am going with Rattler to get the win against Tampa in this game.
That's absurd.
And I think I will make this prediction. He does not give the job back.
I 100% agree with that. I think they're actually going to score some points. I love Spencer Rattler. I think he's underrated. I think he's super talented. But all that said, give me the Bucks. I think they win in a shootout.
First pro game for Rattler. Give me Tampa Bay. Like, he's going to make mistakes. Like, there's going to be some growing pains with him, but I know he's from South Carolina, correct? Remember correctly?
Yeah, there's
Yep.
gonna be some
Yeah.
Patriots fans that are like, "Why didn't we take Spencer Rattler at number 3?" I don't know why I made Patriots fans Southern, but that's not what they sound like.
Yeah.
I'm going Saints on this one.
Oi, why did make them Australian? I don't know. If I wanted to be just stereotypical Boston, I would have said something racist, and I'm not going to do that.
Oi,
So,
take the under.
Yeah, that's again Australian.
Yeah.
Browns and Eagles. Yeah, I'm not taking Rapey McGee to win a football game. Give me the Eagles.
Birds.
Not going there. I think the Eagles get on track. Yeah.
I think it's easy to say it's Eagles across the board for us.
Right, yeah.
I am taking the Browns to cover. It's 9.5 now. I just don't trust the Eagles.
I think
to
Kevin
not make this harder than it
Stefanski-
needs to be.
I think he's being blackmailed or something. Like, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, give me
He
Eagles.
railroaded.
Yeah.
The game of the week, as far as I'm concerned, Commanders Ravens. Who would have thought that?
I'm going Ravens.
Yeah, I think Lamar's better than Jaden. No offense to Jaden. I think Jaden's
I'm
awesome.
taking the
Lamar's
Commanders to
better.
win this thing.
Oh, stop.
I think that this train keeps going, at least for now, and I think this is its crescendo is a
Do
win
you
over
know
Baltimore.
What you would start if he wins this game?
What,
Do you
if
know
I
how
start?
much talk we would have about Jaden being like the best
MVP?
QB in
Yeah,
the
the
league?
MVP discussions are going to start this week, or they've started a couple weeks ago. I think he's going to become the favorite after this game. Give me the Commanders, definitely covering the 6.5. Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think the commies cover, but no. Yeah.
This is honestly, to my opinion, the probably first, because of the Browns' defense at this moment with this organization they're in, but the Ravens' defense is going to be a real test for him. Doing the Ravens, especially at Baltimore too.
Yeah.
Tommy, did you make your pick?
Yeah, Ravens.
Okay, so I'm alone on this.
quickly
You're alone on
went
this one.
Ravens.
Welcome to the island.
Chargers and Broncos. I am actually taking Denver here. I think their defense is looking so good, and the Chargers are still banged up.
Good choice. That was mine as well.
That was my pick too.
Derwin James is back from suspension. Give me the fighting Hardballs.
Fighting
Nice.
Hardballs.
Pittsburgh Steelers and Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders announcing they're making the QB switch to Aiden O'Connell. The Steelers have not announced whether their quarterback is going to be Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. It doesn't matter to me because the opposing quarterback is Aiden O'Connell. Give me Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh all the way here.
I hope it's Justin Fields.
I kind of hope it's Russell Wilson, to be honest.
Yeah, give me
I
Pittsburgh.
want to see what he can do. Yeah. Hey, if you don't think that Washington-Baltimore is the game of the week, then it's definitely Detroit-Dallas. These teams are going to put up some points. I think the Lions run the hell out of the ball and win this game.
Give me the Lions.
Yeah, I think the game gets shortened in terms of possessions for the Cowboys, and I think CD gets his, but it doesn't matter because the Lions' offense is too good. Throw Jahmyr Gibbs the ball, please. Thank you.
Pound it with Montgomery. Tommy?
I'm going Lions. Easy answer.
All right.
Can we just get the next two? Because the next two are pretty. Like, does anyone go pick Carolina and New York the next two games?
I think Carolina covers because that's.
I think Carolina covers as well, and I actually would not be stunned if this was a great game, but I am
as a Red Rifle enthusiast.
I love Dalton too, but like it's not it for against Atlanta.
So
yeah, I think this is a high scoring
Falcons
game.
and Bengals across the board here.
Yeah, Falcons Bengals. I think they're both high scoring games. To be honest,
isn't Thielen's hurt? Like Get's hurt now.
Yeah.
So now it's like Jake Coker.
Rifle. It's the Red Rifle. He can do whatever he wants. He's just gonna sling the ball. He's got Deontay Johnson still.
Yeah,
if he can do whatever he wants, I'm sure he'd like to not be 1-4. Bengals at Giants. I think this is a come down to earth moment for the Giants after beating the Seahawks. Give me Cincinnati.
I think Neighbors plays though, which would be nice.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow will play too. So Bills and Jets. Do you know how I know that Robert Saleh's not a good coach? The spread hasn't moved. It was 2.5 when it opened. It's 2.5 now. Now, he would be an
Wait,
awful coach
what?
if it moved in the Jets' direction.
Oh, I was gonna say, what is that? What does that mean?
But a lot of times when teams make a sudden change like this, it'll move towards the team that's a little bit more consistent.
No, but the thing is,
So-
the over-under is still 40.5, though. Like, nothing's going to
I
change in
think
this.
early
defense is both great.
bettors, early sharps who were on this game were probably betting the Jets because they thought Allen might not play. But as we get closer to the game time, we might see the line shift a little bit as people put money on the Bills. Just saying.
I'm taking the Jets. I just think this is more to do with the fact that every team that does this gets a little bit of a spark from it to start. And now whether that can be sustained is to be seen. But I think the Jets are first place in the AFC East after week 6, which is insane.
The faith you're putting in. Connor, what's your pick?
Bills.
Okay, thank God we have some Jets fans who actually have some common sense.
All right, Brandon, who are you taking?
I'm taking the Bills. I was
okay, that just lets me know that I'm right.
I was just
whenever anyone's a lone wolf, it ends up being correct.
No, because you're the one in last place here in terms of picks.
That's fine. Hey,
look,
we still have a lot of time left for y'all to fuck up, and you're going to. So, I just got mine out of the way early.
Everyone just picked the opposite of what Mitch.
I want the Jets to win. It's not like I don't. It's just more so the fact that like I do think the Jets defense is going to give Allen problems, but I just don't think
the Bills defense doesn't scare me at all. It just doesn't. It doesn't scare me at all. The offensive, no weapon on that team scares me at all.
Not even Cook?
No, not at all.
You know what scares me though is freaking Aaron Rodgers. He's going to throw another 3 picks.
To the Bills? No, stop it. No. The Bills don't do anything creatively on defense to.
I don't know.
You think Rodgers doesn't?
In the first 5 minutes.
The one thing Rodgers doesn't do is throw picks. That was an anomaly. Okay, you can say that he's played bad or he's ineffective, but that's not going to be a consistent thing. I think we can agree on that.
I'll point
he's not going to throw 3 picks again.
I think in the first 5 minutes you're going to be able to tell who's going to win this game. If the Jets come out
wholeheartedly.
If the Jets come out and they
100%.
run the ball and they shove it down Buffalo's throat, I think they're going to win the game. If they do not,
the Bills have a bad run defense.
If they do not do that,
obliterated them,
and they're trying to throw the ball on 2 high safeties, wrap it up. It's Buffalo.
Yeah,
like Josh Allen's.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. You will be able to tell who's going to win this game in the opening 2 minutes of the game.
Sure.
At least from the Jets' first offensive possession.
Yeah.
Connor, you were about to ask me something. What?
Oh, yeah. So like, you're not wrong. Like, no, he doesn't throw picks often, but like, still, like, he has not been great. I don't trust him. Like,
that is fair, but the one thing I do trust him to do is to take care of the football. Whether that means it's going down the field or not, we'll see. I still trust him more than you do. But yes, this has not been Aaron Rodgers at his best. He's been somewhere around like the 21st best quarterback in the National Football League, and the Jets need him to be a little better than that. So we'll see what happens.
This offense needs to put up more than 24 points. That's what I'm saying. And I don't know if they can do that because they haven't done it all year yet.
I think if they score 21, they win against Buffalo. I think that the first team to 20 wins this game. So
we'll see.
Major Josh Allen disrespect, but yeah.
Hey, Josh Allen has had some rough games in MetLife against
the
Jets.
Jets have had to adjust Josh Allen's number. But
Robert Saleh's not there anymore. So
yeah, to say if they run all over the Jets without Saleh, I'm gonna laugh.
Here's the thing. Robert Saleh didn't call the defense. Jeff Ulbrich called the defense, so that's not going to change.
And he's not calling the defense for this game.
Why wouldn't he be?
Just someone else. They're already down. Someone else is calling the defense for them.
I haven't heard that.
That's an insane move to move your guy from coordinator to head coach and not have him call the plays.
Yeah, I think he's going to keep that responsibility. At least I have not heard otherwise.
He should take the offensive coordinator responsibility for Nathaniel Hackett.
I'm all for it. Hey, make the offensive coordinator some guy in the stands. Make Fireman Ed the offensive coordinator. Can't be worse than Nathaniel Hackett.
Is Hackett in the booth or the sideline? Because I think that really does matter.
The sideline, yeah, no. He's on the sideline? In the parking lot. Yeah.
They should put his ass in a blimp and you'll be able to see the film.
No, they should put him in the parking lot and take his credentials and just fire him. That's what I think they should do.
I wasn't calling for the man's job.
Oh, I will. I'll do it. You should him and Salo should be like, man, we really need to get on our LinkedIn profiles. But anyways, we'll be back next week to recap this action and hopefully talk about a nice Jets win and get you ready for a fun slate of Week 7 football. Actually, just kidding. I'm looking at this slate and it's quite bad. So maybe we'll just skip the whole thing entirely. Thank you for listening and enjoy football this week.